Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The Heavyweight Podcast. Heavyweight Podcast. You listen.
We can weigh in on some heavy shit, you know.
What's good? This is the Heavyweight Podcast, episode 44. Shout outs to Obama. 44.
Oh, yeah, I like
444.
Shout outs to Jay, 444. Kill Jay-Z. I am your host, Mo Lethal. I'm here with these three guys. Go ahead and state your names.
Thada McFly, a.k.a. Jesse the Barber's son.
Fictitious.
What?
Fictitious.
Is it fictitious?
Yeah, fictitious. Kevin Wendell. Kevin Wendell. Guess it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, this is Geek 40.
What's up, fella? How was your week? How are you feeling, McFly, after them bars you gave us the last Friday night?
I feel like, in the words of Kendrick Lamar, I feel like I'm that nigga.
Okay.
Because he said it on Father Time.
He said that you were that nigga? He was talking about you?
Oh, he said that he felt like he was in the mindset that he's always that nigga because of how he grew up. So I guess right now I am that nigga.
Taking my line. Okay.
They say talk your shit.
Other than that, so how was your week?
It was a lot of shit moving and moving parts and such and running on a treadmill and all the good stuff. And just preparing for a dope show. I felt like 50 Cent on that treadmill.
I'm not gonna lie, when you said a lot of moving parts and hit that treadmill, it made me think about myself. There's a lot of moving parts when I'm on that treadmill.
Sorry, titties.
Yeah, your week, Mr. Wendell?
Yeah, it is hot, man. I'm outside. I work outside, and it was hot, and I was angry, but it was good. I got to go to work, and
so you embody ham bone this week, huh?
Yeah. I was ham boned. Whatever, Mr. Jenkins.
I didn't want to say anything. You do look a little darker.
I probably am. It usually starts on the forehead and the neck.
Geek, your week?
Still shouldering family shit and trying to move through that and be creative at the same time. So,
hey man, we never asked you. Did you ever get back at that backhoe?
Nah, that thing is way too heavy.
So you just let the hoe slap you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
You could have went to Mexico and got dynamite. What are you talking about? It's only a couple hours. We could have got dynamite from Mexico. They sell you everything.
And that backhoe would have been no mo.
There you go.
You do realize we live in a dry area, right?
Okay, we got firefighters.
I'll pay my taxes.
Thoroughly confused, Keith. When did you get soft?
I'm not trying to go to jail. I am way too pretty to go to jail. So
we black. They ain't gonna never think we use dynamite.
Excuse me?
You
said you're too pretty to go to jail?
I mean, look at this face.
Has another man called? Are you taking advances recently?
Not recently. I mean, I've been called pretty before. Yeah.
Did you were you in Palm Springs with Kevin?
No, it was not in Palm Springs. It was in Long Beach.
Was it West Hollywood?
It was Long Beach.
West Hollywood?
In Long Beach? Yeah. A dude called you pretty.
He must have been fresh out.
In Long Beach.
In Long Beach.
That's wild.
When was the last time? Never mind.
I'm not in
this. There's an area there. That's all I'm gonna say.
They got a district. Mm-hmm. That's what's up. I didn't know there was a Long Beach district like that.
It's down by Shoreline.
Actually, yeah, it wasn't that far.
Is that where all the down lows is at? I shouldn't say it like that.
It's by Shoreline.
Definitely was not down low.
Were you at Shoreline Village or were you at the outlets?
Near the outlets.
I know you was at.
And you've been cooperating there too much.
No, when he said, I know Long Beach because Long Beach got a lot of good barbecue spots, so I'll be in Long Beach often. But
You get a couple hays.
I've never been called pretty in Long Beach. That's for damn sure.
And what you gonna get, a turkey leg? No, I'm kidding. Anyway, how was your week?
My week was peaceful. I'm trying not to let the bullshit get to me. I got to see McFly perform for the first time. You know, since he he always he takes these hiatuses. You know, he's like he takes the Dave Chappelle approach. He's like he pops up, he does a bunch of shit, and then he just leaves. Like
I didn't get a 50. I didn't walk away from 50 mil though.
Hey, let me tell you something. I feel like if I'm in Dave's position and I could walk away, that's some gangster shit. That's some gangster shit.
He walked away from 50 mil and got 90. So
hey, and the man took a tackle like a G.
Didn't even fall. Just kind of stumbled.
Yeah. So
then Matt made a joke about it.
We're gonna get right into it, fellas. The first topic of the day is kind of goes into a little bit of what we talked about last week. What do you do to prepare yourself mentally to take on a task? So like, I don't know, like what do you do mentally to prepare yourself for the work week or for things you gotta do around the house or the car trouble or when you pull up the pump 6 and realize you have to be raped?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Whoa, wait, what?
Yeah, you get raped at pump 6 because the gas price is too damn high.
All right, okay, never mind.
I'll give you what I do.
I didn't know where that was going. I didn't know that.
I'm talking about gas. My wallet. They stole my wallet.
All right,
$82.
I saw somebody pump and they paid 128. So I was like, let me shut up.
Let me tell you something. If I fill my truck up right now, 150.
This has been episode 44.
That's probably being kind. That's probably being kind.
Dude,
I had to fill up a work truck before. That shit hurt.
This ain't no work truck though.
Well, I call it a work truck, but it's just a large truck.
So let's get back to it. So how do you prepare yourself, Mr. Window?
I get the negative part out first. When it's stuff like that.
So you said you get the pump gas?
No, I get there and go get all that shit out. Let's get the negative out first.
You don't take the approach from last part. You don't take the Kevin Gates. You don't say, "Oh, I get to get gas today." You say, "Okay, I see you."
After I get all the negativity out, because I'm like, I know this is gonna make me mad. Let's just get it out now. Let's just get it out now, and then roll into the positivity. I get to pump gas. I'm blessed to have this vehicle.
That motherfucker gets to have a Tesla. I get to pump gas in this motherfucker. Like,
yeah, but I feel like I'm the calmest one when it comes to pumping gas. I don't even have money like that.
You just said that you go out for a drive right now. The only driving I'm doing is when it's necessary. Unless I'm on the bike. I told you all that 2 pods ago. The only time I'm just cruising is when I'm on a bike.
I've just accepted that gas is going to forever be high, so there's no point in me trying to fight the pump when I get there.
So you like fighting the pump? I'm
fighting the power.
Fishing in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Fight the power.
Yeah. Oh, look at that was unison. You did that in unison. But for me, like I said, I get that negative out first.
Your approach, sir?
I go on walks.
Long
walks. Like over here, it's peaceful.
On the beach?
In my neighborhood, it's peaceful. I take walks.
You sold your beach house?
Got no damn beach house, man. I'm lying to these people. But I take a walk and then I'll look at my neighbors and then I'll take some sort of weird gratification. I'm sorry, and knowing that most of the neighbors I have that are black are well off than other people, so it makes me feel good. So then I get in a weird, peaceful tranquility, and then I go, time to take on the work week.
Okay.
But it's a weird thing, like when I look around, because I'll be like, damn, like you'll see like the obvious people that with the flags hanging off the back of their lifted trucks and they're fucking speeding through the neighborhood. But then there's
Kevin.
those like those calmful neighbors that tend to be black over here, and they tend to just kind of let me know this is what I'm
No,
working
he don't
for.
rep. He don't. I mean, he reps the flag, but he don't rep the flag like that.
I walked down that street and I said, "This is what I'm doing it for, to have that kind of peace and that peace of mind, not the speed and shit down the street, but like to know that I'm here for the kids.
Yeah.
It's peaceful and it gets me in a weird place, so I'm like, I can take on the work week.
I will say that I'm the only person who speeds down my street.
Oh, nigga, I'm trying to get us tennis balls or footballs or something for everybody who speeds down the street. I just want to nail them.
I'll be, and the thing is, it's only like 500 yards. But when I hit that left, there's no.
Is that how you prepare for the work week?
Right.
Hey, look here. From the time I leave my garage with my bike to the time I get to the middle of my street, I'm already at 65.
Mm.
And then I roll the stop sign at 40 because I'm not stopping because ain't nobody on the street this early.
Oh, you wanted the. Oh, okay.
It's early in the morning. I thought you talking. I'm like, yo, you tripped.
Honestly, I don't think I prepare myself. I wake up, I take a deep breath, and I just start walking. I just let shit be. There's no preparation. I mean, I already kind of know what to expect. So I just, I put my helmet on, turn on my tunes, and I coast, do my thing. And
Am I the only one that talks to himself?
I talk to myself all the time.
Oh, I'm
like before you walk into work, do you talk to yourself?
I talk to myself from the time I get up to the time I go to sleep.
Do you answer?
I talk to myself.
Yes.
I talk to myself in my head while we're doing the pod.
I say thank God for Bluetooth.
Oh yeah. Now that shit when I was younger. The random walks in neighborhoods where motherfuckers look at them like, who is he talking to? You're like,
What, the Boost Mobile?
You know how many songs I've missed and albums I've missed just talking to myself? I'm like, I gotta rewind this. I don't know what the hell I was listening to just now.
Man, I can cut on a movie and then be lost in my own thoughts. But I don't know what happened in the last 15 minutes. I've been looking at the TV, but I don't know what's going on.
Secret fella.
It's a lot more internal. I do a lot more internal dialogues.
Oh man, if I said a lot of the stuff I say in my head, y'all probably wouldn't be friends with me.
Facts.
Peep out Sneakerella on Disney Plus because it's showing black people in a position of
Sneakerella?
Sneakerella. It's a flip on Cinderella, but it's about a dude designing dope kicks.
Okay.
It's a black uplifting shit, so I thought it was dope to watch. I don't like musicals either, and I'll watch it. Interesting take, even though I don't like John Sally as a.
I can't.
I don't know how he's the focal point of that kind of. I was like, come on, John Sally, you couldn't find. That was random. I just feel like I throw that in there. Black Power.
Oh no, throw it in there.
So do these things have to be positive? Can they be negative?
With your thoughts?
No. Like what we do to prepare.
No, it's how you prepare.
How you prepare? It ain't got a shit. I mean, I'm not
curious now.
Story to tell. And now I want to hear it because I got something to say.
I mean, it depends on the day, how rough the day. Well, no. Shots sometimes help.
Okay.
Shots sometimes help.
Tequila, bourbon, whiskey. Vodka.
I am a bourbon or mainly bourbon.
So you take shots before you go to work, or before you start the day?
Not every time. I have occasionally, especially if I know for a fact what I am going to be walking into, because it's probably something that I left the day before.
So you started the pot the night before and left, huh?
But usually, and I know this is gonna trigger some of y'all, but usually the drive helps me, and I just turn on music really loud and just kind of vibe out before I go really anywhere.
The drive.
Hell, to the store. Yep, the drive.
The drive.
Don't Drake and drive.
The drive.
I implore you, do not Drake and drive.
Why you be in your feelings?
On occasion.
You'll be in your feelings the whole fucking I worked to work one night.
Occasion.
I didn't feel like talking to nobody, and I was on Drake shit. I was in my feelings the whole fucking night.
Yeah, that's a mistake. Crying and shit. Imagine getting pulled over. They're like, "What are you crying for?"
Don't worry about it, man.
then I had to go to the gym afterwards.
You just turn the volume up and be like, "This is why." They be like, okay.
Fucking
hit him with the.
Do not Drake and drive.
Yeah, Marvin's room. Are you drunk right now?
Shit.
You ever get nervous?
Hey Keith, I think you should play like Pantera, like loud as hell, and that just to confuse people.
Pantera.
Just to confuse people.
It's funny. It's funny you say that, Kevin, because what I've noticed is that if I'm listening to my rock music while I'm on my bike, I ride more aggressively. Where if I'm listening to like R&B or hip hop, I'm kind of just like I'm zoning. But if I got to if I'm playing like some Disturb or some shit in my ear, I'm like everybody get the fuck out the way.
I've seen you ride Maurice on your bike and rhythm and shit, swaying and shit on the bike. Like, this nigga swaying on his bike.
Sometimes
how versed are y'all with like Adult Swim of the past?
Very.
Like comedy, like Cartoon Network.
You remember? Yeah.
Okay.
You remember that heavy metal show that they used to show?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I, on occasion, do follow that band and play their music, and the looks I get is hilarious.
Hilarious.
Look here, man. I'm gonna say it. Miley's dad, Billy Ray Cyrus, I bumped that shit.
Oh.
He be mean on that guitar. I don't care what nobody say. I don't care. No, Billy Ray Cyrus?
Ain't nobody hating on Billy.
Hey, look here, man.
I mean, some people
break your heart.
Hey, he be man. Billy, he mean on that guitar.
Old Town Road.
I'm talking about. I don't know the news. I'm telling you.
Was that Achy Breaky Heart? Old Town Road. But
then I flipped on you. I go from that to like some Grateful Dead. You be like, what is this nigga? No, I'm not high. I enjoy it. It has a nice rhythm to it. See, Grateful Dead is the only rock music I can like listen to. I like this. Okay, cool.
I will say I have to be in the mood though. I have to be in the mood for it. Like I'm still pretty close-minded when it comes to my music, but there's moods.
You never get into that emo rock high school shit and be in your feelings?
Yeah.
Oh, often. I have a whole emo playlist.
I hate myself when I'm done with it too.
You don't just randomly start playing the Killers. You're like, man.
I just start ripping shit.
I guess we really all do have a very. I guess we all have very different approaches on how we tackle.
You don't have an emo playlist?
His emo playlist is Drake. Come on, Drake is an emo rapper. He all over the place.
Most of the rappers I listen to are emo.
Name 3 emo rappers.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Budden.
Okay,
Drake.
Goddamn, you got me.
Drake. This latest Kendrick Lamar album that we should be touching on this week. That should have me all in my feelings.
Okay, let's talk about it. Shit, we got time.
I fuck with Juice WRLD.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me ask y'all this. Kodiak Black. Hold on. Kevin, Keith, have you guys heard the album?
All right, stop.
Kodak Black's verse. Kevin, Stutter, what's your takes on that verse?
Kodak.
Felt like it was very honest.
I've always liked Kodak. Kodak seems to be honest as fuck.
Are we talking about the verses, like the verse on the song he did, or the little interlude bars that he was?
Both.
He was being very honest.
When the part he was talking and when he was rapping.
He was saying, getting his dick. But I did like you saying just kids are growing up and all that. But the important thing is Kendrick even said that he's more Kodak Black. I think that's why he references him and has him on his album, that he thinks more of in the mind frame of Kodak Black and not somebody that's pro Black. He thinks more like Kodak Black growing up, like, which I fuck with. He's being honest. He's telling
elaborate that the mindset. What's his mindset?
Loud gutter guy that's from the street, that's just being that happened to, like he said, no, he didn't think people would fuck with a Black, but they fuck with him. Like, he's successful because people identify themselves in him. Like, when you see, I think that's where Kendrick identifies as himself in Kodak. Like, he's like, you know what, we might be completely different backgrounds, but we have a lot of the same habits or outlooks, and I think that was a dope approach to it. Because at first, people was like, why the fuck is Kodak Black on this so much? And I'm like, after a while, I got it. I was like, okay. He's trying to say that he identifies with this thing. Like,
I don't think he's what everybody, he tells you every time. He's like, I'm not what you guys think I am.
And why am I with this legend? I remember him saying that shit. Like, yeah.
Well, no, Kendrick, I feel like is somebody he's different than what he portrays in the music. Like, he tells you, like, don't just approach me because you might get stumped up.
I am not your savior.
That's one of my favorite songs.
Yeah, that's a good song.
I definitely feel like he's.
This
was a therapy album and not necessarily what people expected to be mainstream album. I think people were expecting shit they can listen to on the radio. None of this is for the radio. It's everything for healing, to identify healing steps.
Everything about these songs, there has to be at least 2 or 3 songs to trigger everybody's emotion. If you really listen to what he's saying.
Pain away, I slide the pain away.
And those identifying triggers. The song that I sat there in a room and listened to We Cry Together, and I said, oh, this is probably one of the most toxic things I've ever heard. It's one of the most honest things I've ever heard at the same damn time. You're listening to it and they're going at each other. Yeah. You're like, damn, both of you saying some real foul shit. But then at the end of the day, they come together, and it's just like, we just forget all that shit we said and act like we just fuck for the night. Like,
yeah, that's it's very
that We Cry Together, that was very much so like a toxic relationship, mental abuse type album. Mm-hmm. Like, or not album, but song, like where they're going back and forth, and it's kind of like you say, so there's messed up things being said on both sides, but then they're kind of like drawn to each other at the end, where they, it's kind of like a full circle where they start off mad at each other down their back, then they fall back into it, and they end up,
it's toxic as shit, but it's very relatable.
Yeah.
What
was the song? That was masterpiece right there.
Yeah.
What's the other song? I thought, damn, I can't remember that. It's Auntie's
Diaries.
Auntie's Diary. Like, that one was some shit. And you're like, huh.
Yeah.
That
Hello.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm probably avoiding the album just because there's a whole lot of shit going on right now, and I don't know if I can take
listen to that shit.
any more stimuli, because I'm already kind of on the.
Listen to it. You need it.
I'm on the cliff.
No, listen to it. You need it.
My favorite song is Father Time.
Listen to the last song. Shit. Listen to the last song first for you, Keith.
The Mirror song?
Yep.
Man, I'm telling you, like, this album.
That's just a chant.
I know we're not a music pod, but this every track on here deals with some type of mental issue.
Mental health, yeah.
Every single track on the album.
Father Time.
Maybe he did that on purpose too. And Mental Health Awareness Month. He doesn't do anything.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah. Anything he does is deliberate.
Only Friday 13th of the year, by the way. Father Time for me was a very deep message song because chanting in the hook of the chorus, it reminded me of growing up with my dad. Because in the summertime, he was very about his shit. He was meticulous, so he would tell me if you want to take whatever basketball, whatever serious, he would wake me up, get up early in the morning, and go to this restaurant in Rubidoux, and we would eat breakfast every morning, and then he would drop me off at my school every morning during the summer, and I would run and play basketball, and I would work out for like 4 or 5 hours. And like when I hear the hook, and he's saying, early morning wake up, like, and I'm like, all that things makes me remind me of my dad, and he's talking about his dad, and that's like that shit really got to me to a point where I was very emotional listening to that song because it reminds me of my dad so much. So I thought that this whole album is fucking healing for me.
The part of that song that got to me was the "Don't cry, hold your head up" part. Yeah. Like the don't be soft. Don't let them see you be soft type deal. And the whole whole don't trust the whole mentality of don't trust nobody but your mama and them.
And then the whole looking for love and never receiving it, because my dad never said I love you growing up. So it was one of them things you just understood what it was.
Like anyone watching or listening, I implore you, even if you don't listen to rap, like just listen to the songs on these albums, listen to his words, and just you're going to find something relatable, 100%. I want to hear.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Feel emotions though.
You got to feel these emotions.
Hey, like Wendell said, sometimes you got to feel the feels. You got to feel them.
And the truest statement is, I choose me. I'm sorry.
Facts. That goes to everything. Right. So we're gonna go into this Reddit. We're gonna do a couple Reddit things, and we're gonna get out of here. The title says "No Longer Dead Inside." No longer dead inside. I've been living life. I've been living a life of a shell, one with no meaning or care. I couldn't even care if I died the very next moment. However, with hard work and determination, I began to overcome the trauma I was handed. I have faced my emotions I long since avoided, pulled myself out of the pit, which was once my life. It has been 4 months now since I've changed almost everything and have developed the desire to live, to experience, to witness the beautiful creation known as Earth. The only problem, I've gained a new sense of life, the understanding of mortality, and now I'm afraid to die. Anytime my body acts out of whack, I begin to panic. I remember thinking that I was just starting living. I can't die now. I didn't get the chance to experience life yet. How does one live with such fear? How do I keep myself calm because I understand death is inevitable? Why does it hit me so hard? These are questions I can't find an answer to. What do I do to ease this fear and anxiety? Any advice would be greatly appreciated. McFly?
I thought he was living life. Like he got over a hump.
He is living life now, but now he's afraid of his life being over.
I mean, when you're living in the moment, I don't think you should be thinking about that. But if the only thing I say is it's inevitable, but just you got to make the best of the today. Make the most of today. As I said, we're not promised tomorrow. None of us are. So make the most of today. Try not to fixate on what is to come, because we don't know our fates. But at the same token, we don't. That you can't control anything. There's no promise. You can get hit by a bus in an hour.
Facts.
Like you can like you could fucking drop dead of a heart attack. We don't know. So it's like there's no point in obsessing over it. You never know. Just enjoy the moment.
Mr. Wendell?
I think whatever they did to get out of that dark space they were in, they should try to practice that to enjoy the positives that they already can see more, and try to apply that to, like, because that's an obsessive thing for no reason. Like Andy said, you can't control that. Like you can't control when it's going to happen. You just know it's going to happen. So why fixate on it when there's so much beautiful stuff that you get to absorb now? So start absorbing it and not worry about it. Like if you go, and you're part of it now. Like that's the whole thing, is you I know that's some weird hippie shit to say, but it's like when you go, you are now a part of the whole thing because energy doesn't die. It doesn't go anywhere. It's just recreated. So now you're a part of all the beautiful stuff that you see. So don't fixate on it. Just be happy that you get to be enjoying it at the moment. And then when you go, you are now a part of it.
You been on
And
those LSD pills?
at one point in my life, yes.
Look at the Heavyweight Podcast and what it became, and where it spawned from. That energy is forever existing.
Yeah.
The joy lives through us.
Yeah. Keith?
This sounds like a classic overthinker. It's one of those things where, from what it sounds like, there's a lot of positive that's going on, and he's not used to it. He's used to something different. And so now that things are going well, it is the first thought. The first thought is, well, fuck. It can be gone at any time. And like now he's getting paranoid. I can kind of understand it, being a overthinker myself, where he essentially, how I'm interpreting it is like he wants the good times to continue. Despite that, there's this lingering, like, uncontrollable thing where it's like, fuck. I finally got to a positive place, and now it can be gone at any point. Like I've endured. I'm at a good place, but there's just this lingering feeling that it can just be gone in like a snap of a finger, and it's
I kind of have a.
it's hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to explain unless you like go through it yourself. It's sometimes it's uncontrollable to get to that place where, like, of course, like all this positive stuff is going on, but sometimes uncontrollably, like these thoughts just kind of creep up. So it's one of those things where, um,
But aren't your thoughts
really,
uncontrollable anyway?
huh?
Hold on.
Your thoughts are uncontrollable, right?
Partly.
Partly, but it's one of those things.
Your thoughts are trained.
Obviously he needs to speak to somebody first off. Just he doesn't need to keep these thoughts to himself. He needs to have an outlet. It doesn't necessarily need to be like, um, how do I say this? It doesn't necessarily needs to be like someone that's just gonna be like, oh yeah, no, those thoughts are wrong, blah 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 blah. No, it's just he needs someone to listen to what he has to say. You're probably not going to change his mind. He got to do that on his own, but he just needs that outlet to get it like out of his mind and just out in the open.
I agree with all you guys. I would just say that I would add this. I think the problem is that you went from one extreme to another.
Yeah.
And you realize, hey, you know what? Everything I was afraid of is actually really good over here. So it's a case where you need to find balance, but then you also need to understand that nothing is really in your control. Very, very few things you control. And the things you can control is what you think, what you eat, what time, things like that. You can control things like that. Where you work, how long you work, stuff like that you can control. Anything involving the outside world or living, you have little to no control. I'm not gonna say you have no control, but you have little to no control. You play a small role in these factors because, like Stutter said, you could do everything right, be on a high horse, and live having the best day, and step off the curb and get hit by a bus. So you have no control. So my advice to you, sir, would be to don't live in fear, because when you start living in the fear of death, you'll stop living.
It almost seems like too, like he created one rebrand of a fixation into something else. It was like he was over here suffering from this. He's like, I got this shit right, and then it flourished back up into something else, and it was like there might be an underlying issue. So why it is you went from one but like it shifted over. It was like, all right, cool, I got this under control, and then it popped back up as something else.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
there's
why I
something
said
else.
it's a classic overthinker. Like
Yeah,
it's always
because
one extreme to another.
the reason why they say an addict will always be an addict is because it's true. You may not you may no longer partake in drugs, you may no longer partake in alcohol, but you're going to fixate on something. You're gonna be fixated on one thing in particular, and that's what's going to drive you. That's what, because you're going to have an addiction of some sort.
Yeah.
Because addiction is a behavior issue. It's just how you express that addiction or that issue differs. That's why there's extremes to everything. There's people with food addictions, drug addictions, alcohol, sex addictions. In Sutter's case, masturbating. You know, there's all
Sex,
type of
masturbation,
you know,
food.
yeah. There's all types of addictions. So you have to, at the end of the day, you have to cultivate your mind for the balance, because it's all about the balance. I
Did
mean,
it once,
it's easier said than done, but it's about the
Right.
balance.
but they did it once, so it's like they know the
Yeah,
steps. They gotta.
yeah. It's kind of like they swung the pendulum, but then they didn't stop in the middle. They let it keep
Yeah,
going. They went to the other side. So
make it happen.
I'd say get help, sir, and live life. Don't worry about death, because death's gonna come for you no matter what. That's what I
The
would say.
fear.
I'm
So,
digital, so I'm gonna live forever.
all right, Android. Um, the next
I'm
title,
gonna watch Jexy tonight.
the next plug me in, Phil. The next title is "How Can I Repair My Marriage?" It says, I
Jody.
would I would greatly appreciate advice from couples who've been cheated on. I regret my actions that caused damage to my family, and I'm willing to do anything to fix this. How did you or your significant other get through cheating? So I take it that he cheated on his wife.
That's
And
what it
now he's
sound
trying
like.
to, and now he's trying to,
And
get back in her good graces.
need more details.
That's all the
Tell you
details
like
he gave,
this.
sir.
This is what I got for this
So
motherfucker. Then you ready? You ready? Start doing overtime, nigga, because you lost half your shit.
But like I said, more details needed, because you never know what the situation is. You don't know
no,
if it was somewhere salvageable, or if it's somewhere
well, yeah,
it's a no go.
because you slept with some random woman, you might be able to salvage that. If you slept with her sister, there's no coming back.
Yeah. So
There's
it's like I
nothing.
need more details. You cheated, but all right, did you cheat to the
My wife
degree of
literally
like,
told me this week that if I cheat on her, she better look good. It better be worth it.
damn. But anyway, our point is you need more details, because you never know like what the scenario is. Like if it's like something
Yeah,
where like if they had issues before, she could have cheated. I don't know, like back in the day, and like,
I don't
but
think
it's
she
like one
cheated
of.
because he wouldn't be looking for help. He would be like, it would just be payback.
I mean,
This
I'm
is
just
a
saying
help
that the
me,
details.
please.
Yeah.
I'm just saying all in detail. Like you never know what their past was. Like
My
if they had a rocky past, if they were solid, and he fucking just went left. Like
my
See,
honest
my
response to him would be, sir, at this point in time, you are at her beck and will.
yeah, if
yeah,
you ask him,
Because all you can do is, you're the one. This goes to either way. This is in life. When you're the one who fucked up, you can't decide the timetable for the other person to be okay with it. It's their timetable. Now, granted, there's a limit on that timetable. Now, it's not, don't, a lot of people say, oh, I forgave him or I forgave her, but then you constantly bring that up every time there's an argument. That's not, you didn't really
Yep.
forgive him. That's not forgiveness. That's you keeping a card in your back pocket to always have a one up on the situation. But what I would say to him is that if your wife is willing to work through this is not going to be a week thing, a month thing. Shit, it might not even be a year thing. This is going to take time, because one thing for sure in life is that trust is the hardest thing to get back. Once you've broken trust, it's hard to attain it again. And not only did you break her trust, you also broke your vows. So it's like it's a double thing. And then if you have children, it's even heavier. So what I would say is, you have to start off by doing little things. You have to constantly be, You gotta get your wife your location. My wife always knows my location. My location is shared with my wife constantly. There's nowhere I can go where she doesn't know, and I do that for her peace of mind. Because I'm not doing it because I know I'm not doing nothing wrong, so I don't care. Yeah, I'm over here. Don't ask me where I'm at because you can look where I'm at. So you know what I'm saying? You have to. You're gonna have to be 100% transparent with her, and not. You're gonna have to be transparent and also transparent to the point where you're gonna have to prove your transparency, because now everything that you say from this point on is gonna need proof. So that was
What?
I just can't do the whole location shit.
No, turn that location on.
I can't. I just
why
you have to
you
build. We build from. I just.
But here's the thing. That she may not want that, but that if you really want your wife back, you wouldn't turn your location on for 2-3 months to give her peace of mind, because at that point it's about her having peace of mind. It's about her being able to find you when she thinks, when she thinks you're doing something you're not supposed to do, so she can. It's a safety thing for her mental, because it's the whole thing is that if she takes you back, it's she's gonna have the mindset of, well, he's made a fool of me once. Is he gonna do it again? So then you have to fight that whole. You have to fight that whole her. She has to fight that whole mental thing. You have to find your way back into the direction. You're not gonna wake up the next day and be A1. You're not probably not gonna wake up next year and be A1. So it's what you're willing to do to gain that trust back.
You got to think from the mindset of this fella who's asking on Reddit for advice. So it's like you may not subscribe to it, but if you that far to where you're asking strangers for advice, you might want to subscribe to
Because
all of that stuff.
he clearly it sounds like he effed up. He knows he effed up. He wish he wouldn't have effed up, and now he doesn't want to lose his wife. Because if he effed up and didn't really care about having the wife or not, it would be whatever.
You know what's going to the outcome of this is, right?
Oh,
You know what the outcome is?
What, divorce?
go back down.
Joint Facebook accounts. Every time I see those, I'm like, oh, somebody cheated.
Yeah.
This is Carl and Deb.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, you can give your take, Mr. Wendell.
Well, what? Him?
What you gonna tell him? Yeah, what you gonna tell him?
I told him he can. If she ain't with it, then you asking us for no reason. Need to be talking to her.
Yeah.
I said there's not enough detail to know how bad he fucked up.
He cheated. It don't matter how bad it is.
But I'm saying that the cheating, like if it's on rocky ground, like you're saying it's just cheap, but you don't know the details and what led him to that cheating. Like
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what led him to cheat. They could have been fighting.
Okay,
they could have been fighting for 30 days straight. If he cheated, he still cheated. I get
that he still cheated, but I'm saying there's a different degree to if they were on rocky ground and he cheated than someone who literally just went out of nowhere and cheated. Like there's a difference. Like there's not you can't say one person's he cheated. I'm saying like there's a difference in partaking. Like yeah, you cheated, but at the end of the day, if you were on rocky ground and it led to cheating, then someone who just came out of left field and just cheated on his wife, they've been solid A1 since day one, and all of a sudden he cheated on her. There's a different degree in that burning of that bridge. If there's a rocky ground, they can go to fucking couples counseling and bounce back. But if the other one, it just might be fucking done because he destroyed that fucking trust, and there's no coming back. That's my point. Like,
you're saying
if it's rocky, if she's like, yeah, we did this, and I've been like this, and I've been immature, and I did this, and I done this, and I called him this, and I called him a little dick nigga. I did this, I did this. My family did this and treated him like this. Then there's a possibility that okay, some of the shit I did may have led him to want to go do some left field shit. Maybe we go to counseling and fix it. But then if there's the other side, it's just not. It's a gray area. Like it can't just be well he cheated. That's it. Like it's not realistic. Like. In this life that we live in, it's not realistic the way to look at it. Because if at the end of the day, it's been rocky. She's been doing her shit. He did his, and he's not coming with the full detail. And all of a sudden now it becomes okay. Yeah, you left out that you guys have been having these issues, and you've been separated for this long, and this happened, and now this causes that, then there might be a road to salvation if you're fucking willing to go to counseling for it, or go to a therapist, or talk like couples counseling. But like, if it's just some shit where she's been solid to you this whole fucking time, and you just did some random shit because you want to get your dick wet, then you might not be able to bounce back from that. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no bouncing back from, I've been A1 since day one and you just fucked me over. Then, yeah, we both had our parts to play in this, and maybe we get to go see counseling.
You know, the most telling about this whole thing is, and it's probably just me reading between the lines, the fact that he's asking the internet, she probably doesn't know yet. He's trying to get opinions from strangers because he can't go to anybody else.
I honestly feel like what he's not saying is that if he had a situation where he had his cake, he wanted the cake and eat it too.
I just think he's trying to get as many different opinions as possible before he unwraps this unfriendly gift to his
He
wife.
needs to be talking to her.
Yeah.
Facts.
That's what he needs to be doing.
But I think the fact that he's asking the internet, he's probably asking the internet first. I don't think he's gone.
It don't even matter what the internet says.
I mean, but also
well, for him it does.
Also to Studd's point, what was their environment in which the cheating happened? That I do think that it's somewhat important.
Because, as in what? Like them separated?
As in, were they separated? Were they rocky before and he went out, got drunk, or this is just a situation to where she thinks everything's fine, but he had a young hot thing at work to pursue him, and he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just go ahead and no one's not gonna find out," and now he's guilt tripping himself.
I think the telling thing is the fact that he does not, or at least I don't know what the whole conversation is underneath his original post, but the fact that he's not giving any details,
that's the problem.
Is a lot of details right there. Like whatever he did is going to influence the opinions coming in. So he's keeping it to himself. Yeah. He just wants general opinions on the situation that he disclosed.
He needs to, if he really wanted the advice, he would divulge a lot more information than what was divulged, because it's kind of like you want advice, but you don't want to tell us.
That means to me that he probably did more.
Right.
It's more him, and he did more.
Yeah.
And he don't want to.
And more than once.
Yeah, more than once. Because he's like, is it salvageable? And he don't want to be like, well, I did this back in so and so, and he's like,
he kind of wants to know, is it salvageable before he pulls the trigger on letting this information out. That's why I said I feel like he's going to the internet first because he has nowhere else to go.
Because my thing is,
or like he feels like it.
I think I said it 2-3 pods ago. I got too much to lose. Damn, your vagina ain't that valuable to me. You can keep it.
Yep.
Ma'am, I will go buy a fleshlight before I put.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, the lack of information, the fact that he's going to the internet, I feel like
go buy one.
He's grasping at straws, and he feels like he doesn't have anywhere else to go, so he's asking the internet first before laying out whatever groundwork comes from it.
And I always feel like when people ask for advice and don't give you details, is they know they fucked up. Like they know they're in the wrong. And they're trying to, like you said, they're trying to get one thing that they can try to. I only did it because of this. No, come on now, like
it was $13.
Flashlights actually light up though.
Best reviews ever. No, wait, I mean you can get one that can. Don't ask me how I know.
You don't say, is it like per stroke or like?
I hope not. Yes.
You gotta do more work to make it brighter. I don't know.
Okay. With that being said, this is episode 44. Shout outs to Obama, Barack, of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am your host, Molita. We are on everything. Once again,
everything.
Spotify, Apple Music, Google Play, iHeart, Amazon Music, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all that
Only
shit.
cans.
We on all that. And I'm with these three fellas here. State your names, fellas. Fellas for the
Adam
people.
McFly, aka Jesse the Barber Son.
That nigga raps. And also, he's droopy. Huh? I'm sorry, your name, sir?
Girthy Huxtable.
Earthly?
Girthy Huxtable.
Girthy.
No,
Okay, we're back.
no.
Girthy Huxtable.
Moving on. This is Geek 40.
Hold
Wait a
on,
minute,
Geek.
the next say,
Hold on.
did you say
Hold on.
girthy?
Yeah,
Yeah, Girthy
yes, he did.
Huxtable.
Hold on. Girthy, do you carry preludes with you? Since your last name Huxtable?
Bill Cosby.
I just want to know. Are you carrying preludes with you, girl? This is
I don't even think they make those no more.
This is the shenanigans we get into here. I don't know this dude and his names. Once again, this is episode 44. We appreciate y'all. We love y'all for the support. We will see y'all next week. We out. Peace.
Give them the Jello pudding.
If you can hear the sound of my voice, you're a real one for sticking to the end. Just want to thank you again for listening and stay tuned for the next episode. 40 out.